All right, good morning, and thank you so much for watching right now here on the CBS 8 app. This morning, we are hearing from San Diego Mayor Todd Gloria, who's calling for local law enforcement to assist in the investigation of a sea lion who was captured on camera being kicked by someone. News 8's Abby Black has more on the public's demand for justice.
Ever since we shared still images from that disturbing video of an assault on a sea lion here at Point La Jolla, the response has been overwhelming. Even Mayor Todd Gloria has something to say about it.
These are the still images pulled from a video that appears to show a man kicking a sea lion late at night near the cove at Point La Jolla. We have not independently verified the video, so we're not showing it in its entirety, but it's gone viral on social media, and so has the demand for an arrest.
It's obviously deplorable.
We're not naming the person suspected in the video. He's not been charged, but online speculation about his identity has spread rapidly. On Friday, San Diego police say that they were not called to the scene and are not investigating. It's NOAA. The federal agency confirms its Office of Law Enforcement is on the case, but says that office is just 4 officers for the entire state, and they're not answering any more questions about the investigation. On Saturday, Mayor Todd Gloria weighed in, posting on X, "I've seen the video of a man striking a sea lion at Point La Jolla. This disgusting act of animal cruelty is unacceptable. NOAA's investigating possible federal law violations, and I've asked local law enforcement to review the footage as well. We must protect our wildlife." I've reached out to the mayor's office and police for further comment and have not heard back. Chas Dye, treasurer for La Jolla Parks and Beaches, says that his group has been sounding the alarm for at least a year.
Parks and Beaches submitted a 5-point recommendation to the city, and thus far nothing has been implemented apart from giving megaphones to the park rangers.
Please maintain 20 feet distance.
Harassing a sea lion is a federal crime under the Marine Mammal Protection Act, punishable by civil penalties up to roughly $36,000 and up to a year in prison.
I hope he gets prosecuted to the fullest extent possible.
It's not without precedent. Last July, a California man was sentenced to 3 years in state prison after pleading guilty to beating a pregnant stranded sea lion with driftwood near the Ventura Pier, a case that involved a joint federal, state, and local investigation.
This has really got to stop.
To report information about this case or wildlife harassment, call NOAA's enforcement hotline. That number's 800-853-1964. In La Jolla, Abby Black, News 8.
Okay, Abby, now you are here in studio, and this is a story that came, I believe it was the week after we had talked with our Shannon Handy.
The same week.
It was the same week, right? Yeah, so we
last...
talked with our Shannon Handy about the advocates there who are in La Jolla who are calling out that even just getting too close to seals and encounters are happening more frequently. We need to see more done. Then we have this video that comes out. And I feel like, if anything, this is the spark point where we might see more enforcement. NOAA come out. Are we hearing that at all? Because from Shannon's reporting, she was saying it's really a funding issue. The money's not there for NOAA to have an agent or a law enforcement officer to be there to sort of enforce the rules.
This has been such a long debate. I've been here for 13 years, Chris.
Yeah.
I've talked about it, I think, since day one. I've been here.
Yeah.
This debate of whether you close the beach, you don't close the beach, what can we do to better protect the sea lions, but also give it public access. Finally, the city, because this is the constant battle, and since this has happened, I've reached out to local, state, and federal officials to be like, what are you going to do? This has got to be the breaking point to make some kind of strict enforcement happen, because no one is being held accountable for harassing these sea lions. No one's being held accountable for getting too close and for injuring these sea lions, at least here down at the Cove.
Yeah.
So I reached out to NOAA. They're the federal investigators that are the lead on this. And they say, hey, we only have 4 enforcement officers in the entire state.
Wow.
What?
Yeah.
Because of funding,
Yep.
right? Okay. So that can be the excuse for it. All right. Well, and they rely on our local agencies to help out. You go to the local agencies. I'm heated about this because I'm just so frustrated.
It's frustrating.
I've been put in circles day in and day out about this before this and now that this has happened. You go to the locals. I've called the city of San Diego. I've emailed the city of San Diego. I've gotten on the phone with the San Diego police, and they all want to defer to NOAA. That
So it's just a
for
circle.
injuring a sea lion is under federal law, under the Marine Mammal Protection Act. We can't enforce it. Okay, well, what's going to be done to enforce it? Because NOAA says that they have 4 officers. Something needs to give here. And so the Sierra Club Seal Society, they say, hey, we don't want to close the beach. We want to have some kind of taping or markings up to better protect the sea lions, especially during pupping season, so people don't get too close. You see their volunteers, the docents that are down there at the bottom of the stairs. I was there on Friday, and someone wanted to walk past the stairs, and there's this little baby sea lion there that's malnourished, and someone wanted to walk right up to it. And the docent said, hey, can you please not do that? It's pupping season. There's a pup that's down there. And the guy's like, why? And she was like, we just really can't get too close. And so he did listen. He did turn around. But she can't go after him and ticket him. She said, I can't stop you. I'm just recommending that you do this. And so the SEAL Society is saying, hey, then can NOAA give local and state agencies authority to ticket and enforce this? Because the city is just saying, hey, we're doing what we can. I still think that they can do more, but we're doing what we can. And, they did put these rangers at the top of the cove now. They're on megaphones.
Well, what can the rangers do? Because that's
They get on their
unclear as
megaphone
well.
and they say, please do not get close to the sea lions. And then they educate them on what the law is.
And this is not me advocating for this at all, but it sounds like what you're saying is that unless a NOAA officer is on grounds, there is no discipline or any repercussions for breaking the law.
Exactly. Until after it happens. I mean, so for this incident.
Because it was recorded.
Yeah.
In this instance, because it's recorded.
Because it was recorded.
Right.
I mean, the rangers, they can file reports and share that with NOAA to file charges or, they can share information of what they see on the ground. What has happened with that? I don't see any ticketing. Right. I don't see any kind of cases here. In my reporting yesterday, I did find, I think, the most recent case in California. Someone had you saw in the story, had beat a sea lion in Ventura County. That was caught on camera. They were able, but that was a joint investigation. So you did see local, state, and federal agencies work together here. So
and that had to go so far as assault to warrant an investigation.
Exactly.
We see people petting them.
Touching, getting
we
too
see
close.
the whole spectrum of contact of any sort go either unnoticed or, as we've mentioned, unticketed.
And just getting up too close. I mean, you get these parents that actually push their kids to go get close to the sea lion, and the kid's like, I don't want to go. Well, they just want to get the picture of the sea lion. And it's not just sea lions. I mean, we've seen this nationwide. If you get too close to wildlife, they may hurt you, like we saw with the bison, you see with these bears. We need to respect. I feel like we can still enjoy the cove and enjoy the sea lions. They're beautiful animals. You get too close, they will attack you.
And Shannon made the point, too, is that La Jolla just was named the #1 beach in the country.
By TripAdvisor, I did that
TripAdvisor.
story.
Yeah, and look, it is a beautiful beach. It is great, but that only adds more people. And you have to hope that those people are, either kind enough, polite enough to respect the rules or informed enough, but it just doesn't seem to be the case. When you have these masses of people that, flock to this one particular place, they're going to say, oh, wow, there's seals here we can go see. Oh, wait, in Florida, there are such things as private beaches. But here in the state of California, obviously, beach access is a public right. So I can only imagine someone from Florida who would go here and be like, what? The beaches are public? I can walk down there. I can go pet a seal. I don't have to pay. Sign me up. And, that's not to pass any judgment on somebody from Florida, but it's just simply you're in a new place. You don't know the rules. You're still in the United States of America, so you think that the same rules in Florida apply here in California. Whatever the disconnect is, we're still seeing it happen, no matter what efforts, little or big, are being put into place.
Because you don't see the rangers down on the sand. It's the SEAL Society docents.
Because they're up on the park.
Yeah, they say they can't get down on the sand because that's again, marine jurisdiction, yada, yada. So you have these docents, these volunteers that are down there on the sand, making sure that the tourists and those who want to enjoy, to or see the sea lions, do not get too close to them. As far as this investigation goes, I have a feeling that no one knows exactly who this person is. Their name has been splattered all over the internet.
Has it really? Okay.
Yeah.
Is that internet sleuths that have sort of done that?
I think yes.
Yeah. Okay.
And I think it's just kind of this trail of who posted it. Then, because it was posted from a private account. And so I think people are able to trace who it is. And so, obviously we have not been able to independently verify that this person's not been charged. So it would not be responsible for us to report the name. But, when I asked NOAA yesterday where they are in the investigation, they said that they're not going to comment any further. So if this person hasn't been arrested, my feeling is that they probably have tracked down who this person is, maybe talked to them, talked to their parents. We don't know exactly how old. He looks young. Don't know if he's under 18 or over 18. And, I think maybe they're just trying to build their case.
What do we know about what are the consequences, for this specific instance? Is this just a ticket? Is this jail time? Like what?
It can be jail time. Okay. Like we saw in Ventura County, this man, he was sentenced to 3 years in prison and a fine. And in 3 years in prison, the sea lion was pregnant, and he also was charged with like a drug possession. Okay. So I think that added to it. But according to the Marine Mammal Protection Act, in violation of it, it carries a $36,000 fine and up to 1 year in prison.
Okay. All right. Abby, thank you so much for, again, sharing that story. It's an important one because, again, I think the more we talk about why it is wrong to do it, and despite the sort of trouble that is going on with enforcement, it helps to raise awareness about, again, our environment and why it is that we have these protections in place for these animals. So, Abby, thank you so much for all of that.